All right, hello, Key Biscayne. It is Thursday, April 13th, 2017, and it's Manny's 50th birthday. Hey! This is the No One's Listening show here. I'm Rafa, your host. To my left is Griff.
Hey, everybody.
To his left is Anna.
Happy birthday, Manny.
To her left is G-Man.
Great to be here. Happy birthday, man.
To his left is Dave.
Happy birthday, Manny.
To his left is Vite.
How's it going, Manny? Happy birthday.
And to Vite's left is Manny.
Oh, man. Hey, listen.
Manny of the hour.
Thank you very much. Rafa, panel, distinguished friends. I could just hope that you're as lucky as I am on your 50th birthday in what, about 20, 30 years? Pretty be surrounded by
30 years.
to be surrounded by such spectacular people in such an idyllic setting. So thank you very much, man. I do appreciate you.
We are pouring champagne here on the show. Only the finest for our friend Manny.
Only the finest. Boone's Farm. I love that.
A nice little toast here.
What a nice touch.
Right? And we finally got one of those sound effects like on the Paul Young Ron show, but this one's real.
It'll be the Paul show.
Oh, yeah, well, now. All right. So we're still pouring this champagne here, so bear with us.
I think I heard some sound effects on Blink Radio the other day. Griff, or was that you?
No, that wasn't me.
No.
All right, a toast. A toast to Manny.
Cheers, Manny.
Cheers.
50 years and many more.
50
Cheers.
Cheers.
Sorry, I'm stuck in this big lazy boy, so...
We'll go to you.
Old enough to know better, young enough to still do it, man.
That's
Cheers,
very
Manny.
good.
This is to you. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers, Manny.
Thank you.
I told Jonathan, if I'm like that at 50, amazing. I'm successful. That's it. That's all I want.
What does like that mean?
Like you, man, full of life, energy.
All right.
Yeah, man.
Handsome.
Taking life by.
Braces.
Handsome. This is Vincenta sitting next to me.
But yeah, just full of life, man, and doing everything.
great attitude,
getting
by the
out
way.
there, best attitude, positive energy, spreading it to everybody else. It's nice. It's really nice.
Really,
Thank you, Anna.
really nice.
Thank you. I'm just. I say it all the time. I'm just a mirror. I'm just a mirror of what I see. So.
All right, well, let's go to it. Weekend talk. Who wants to go first?
You should.
Yeah, we were all together this weekend.
Well, this weekend was the Key Biscayne 4th of July barbecue, and it was a lot of fun. We had this great band, Patrick and the Swayzes, that was such a good call because, I mean, they tore it up.
They brought the house down,
They're
and you know what was really cool was that people were Facebook broadcasting the sound check.
Yeah.
So I was getting ready to go to this party, and I could see what was coming.
Yeah.
So then in an instant you could just tell everybody.
Yeah.
So that was great. It was a lot of fun. And then this really funny thing happened to us, and I hope you guys will chime in with some more details. But so we're there at the end of the party, okay? And first this guy shows up, and nobody notices, but he comes in with a suitcase. He comes in with a suitcase, and he kind of puts it off on the side, and then he starts hanging out with us, starts talking to us, and he's got like a weird story for everybody. And I came to the conclusion, I don't know if I'm correct or not, but I think this guy's like a drifter / he was young too, like a hobo who travels. Okay,
Definitely.
and he told us a story that he had a brother like on Sunrise, but I mean, if he did, why was he like? He didn't seem like he had anywhere to
Rafa,
go.
He was young. How, like 30 or 50?
Like 22.
Oh, 22. Okay.
22. He was missing a front tooth.
I was going to say, paint a picture for the audience
Yeah.
because it's worth it. I mean,
His hair was all disheveled. He was missing a front tooth. But then halfway through, he went back to his bag and he changed to look from shorts and a t-shirt to like a pants and a shirt.
I'm sorry, from shorts and a wife beater with, and you're saying his hair was disheveled. He was a redhead with a mullet.
Okay.
Okay, it's not just disheveled. It was like a straight up mullet shaved on the sides, which is fine. You could look like
a
whatever.
mushroom haircut.
But it just
A
goes
mushroom
to
with a tail, though.
Yeah.
It
it
was a
just goes
mullet.
to
That's
say
not fine at all. I don't know how you left that out.
how we
That's an
we
important
thought
detail.
he was I thought he was a hobo, especially when he started talking to people. It seemed like what he wanted to do ultimately was crash at somebody's house. Okay.
But his story to me, or my group at least, was that he was Pablo Escobar's long lost son.
Yeah.
And that his mother
There's
was
another minor
Cynthia's-
detail.
Yeah, and I'm like, we went to high school with Pablo Escobar's kids. they were older than me, but like I was like, no, guy, like you can't come here and say this in Miami or anywhere really, but in Miami especially, I can't say that.
So we keep going. We all leave the club, the beach club, to go to a friend's apartment, and we tell him like, dude, you can't come with us because
wasn't that
we
easy.
don't know you. He's weird.
It wasn't that easy.
We get to the apartment. It's on Galen, and he shows up from the Sunrise side.
He jumps the fence.
And he jumps the fence, and he keeps talking to us in the parking lot and whatever.
But keep
and
in mind, why were we in the parking lot? Because we still had beer, and we are still hanging out. We're getting ourselves together, and he saw us. Because
he started talking to me. I feel bad. It was my fault.
Yeah.
It's like you guys were hanging out by Griff's truck again. Let's face it. That's what usually always happens.
And so we finally somehow, I don't know how you guys got rid of him because
he left us there with him.
I know. I knew.
Why. You don't know.
My plan was I texted all you guys like get rid of the guy and get rid of the old guy.
But this is how it happened. So after the event, you know, we still had a lot of beer, so we were still drinking, you know, the beer on my truck, and so. You know, there was an older guy, but not really older. I mean, he's
old, like what, 30 or 50?
like 50. He's a little bit older.
He's older.
He was older than
so, you know, we had two circumstances that I hadn't dealt with in a while, which is, you know, how do you say no to somebody that you're going to go to a party, and how do you tell them, look, you're not welcome. A, you're a transient dude that we have no idea who you are, and you're an older guy, and
B, you got a mullet. You got a redhead mullet.
My friends don't feel comfortable.
Sorry, Joe Dirt.
Keep referring to this word older.
Because
this is the other dude.
This is the second character.
And he was fine. It wasn't because he was older.
No, that doesn't
It had
matter.
nothing to do with it. It was just
nobody
because
knew him.
We didn't know who he was.
And he was annoying.
So how'd you ditch him, Griff?
So while I'm there, you know, trying to calm down this transient guy, I think his name is Caleb. Oh my God, that's another
more dude. Now he's gonna he's gonna kill you. That was Griff, by the way, Caleb.
So we basically told him, hey, look, you know, there's a bar. You know, I don't know what happened. In the meantime, I'm receiving texts from Rafa saying, ditch them all. So then I told the older guy, and I'm like, hey, look, you're good, but we're worried about this guy. And then I get another text message, get rid of the other guy too. So I'm like, oh man, I got to get rid of both. How do I save? Luckily, I don't know how, but I finagled the older guy to come with me, and we ditched the transient dude.
I was like, okay.
And it was fine. And, you know, we came upstairs and we hung out. It was just funny, though, as the night progressed and the drinks progressed. The older guy started crying. So throughout the night, he would talk to me. He'd pull me aside and be like, Griff, he'd grab me by the arm and be like, look, this is like one of the most happiest moments I've ever had.
Wait a second. That's the older guy's the one you were telling me about earlier that I said don't say his name on the air?
Yeah, and I'm not saying his name because, you know, out of face. But he started crying to me. And when I was leaving the party, he still was clinging on and still crying, but not crying like tear jerker, like, oh, but he was just like,
oh lordy. I wasn't there.
So long story short, we ditched the transient guy, which was a little weird, and the other guy hung out with us, and it was cool. It was fun.
Yeah, he was fine. He was just. You just talked a lot.
He was out of his
said some
element.
funky
He
stuff,
was out of his
guys.
element. You know.
Tell that story though. When you told me.
The aggressive.
Yeah.
He goes out on the balcony right when we finally ditched Caleb. I'm scared of him now.
He doesn't own a radio. It's okay.
Oh, that is true. That's very true.
That guy definitely owns a radio.
If he owns anything, it's a radio.
He's a hobo with a suitcase.
Gannon's right, bro.
He had a phone, by the
He
way.
doesn't have anything else, but he has a
Anyway,
radio.
sorry.
No, it's fine. So I'm there on the balcony with Bob and my brother and Jonathan's friend that he brought upstairs.
By the way, he wasn't my friend. I just know of him, and you know,
Sure.
it was a little bit better.
He's just like aggressive, like, oh man, thank God it didn't get violent because I would have ended up in jail again because I was gonna get your back and I was gonna get your back and I was gonna beat him up and I was gonna go to jail.
Wait,
At
that's
least
what?
he did-
Who said that?
The older
guy said that to you?
friend.
Yeah, talking about the transient.
And I'm like, guy, we're not violent people. It wouldn't have gone there. And he wouldn't let it go. He's like, I have a mugshot.
Literally, he wouldn't let go.
I was ready to have another mugshot for you guys. I got your back. And I'm like, I don't know you. You don't know me.
That's true. I've
I'm
actually
like,
seen that
hey.
dude on mugshots.com, although that's not saying a lot on the key.
No, the key
like 50
mugshots are
pages.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So we're okay.
But so it makes sense that he was crying for us later because he was ready to kill Caleb for us too. So
But fun night.
ready to go to jail. He's like, I was ready to go to jail for you guys. I'm like, well, thanks, man.
This,
Just not you, but-
sounds like a very emotional man overall. I just feel
Yeah.
like, you know, this man, you know, came here, he wanted to make friends, he was just willing to go on a limb and you know, say like, willing to get arrested for, you know, for you guys.
Poor guy, man, because next time I see him, I'm going to say it. Hey,
Well, are you
right,
gonna
baby.
walk the other way if you see him, or are you gonna? Are you
No,
gonna
I'm
say, you gonna say hi?
Hey, you know, I'm a nice guy.
Yeah.
I put things to
He was nice, the guy too.
And so, hey, you know, so that's what it was. But it was funny. It was a great night, and Rafa put a great party together.
Yeah.
And it was great. Great.
Yeah.
4th of
Oh,
July
the cops came to the apartment. That was fun.
Oh my god, guys. I was talking to Rafa about this yesterday, reminding him that at one point we saw the cops coming from the balcony. So we were alerted by whoever was outside smoking.
Well, the funny thing is that I know who called the cops,
Oh, what?
but I can't say.
Damn it.
I have my sources.
Well, the cops came and we're like, oh man, we put down the music and we're all like, oh no, no. And we're all whispering in this apartment. And we all, at one point, someone screams out, guys, we're all like in our mid-30s. Like, what the hell are we freaking out about? The cop's gonna come. We're gonna say, I'm sorry. We're gonna put down the music and then we're gonna continue with our night. And we're like, oh no, what are we gonna do? Who's gonna go out there and talk to the cops?
And let me tell you, just speaking with some experience,
50 years of
that's not going to
experience.
change. That's not going to change.
No,
that'll
it's so
happen.
silly. It's funny.
Yeah.
People tend to be afraid of the police. It's what happens.
Yeah.
I'm Mexican, and that's totally cool. I've been lucky enough that in my 17 years now in the United States, I have, only had speeding ticket encounters with the law. Maybe 27 of them, but
Ooh.
but only speeding tickets, which is
Me too. Welcome to the club. Me too.
Yeah.
Only speeding tickets.
Vincente, no speeding on the key, all right? Especially on Sunrise.
Especially in the GD.
I don't speed on the key.
All right. Anybody else with weekend talk?
Well, we did the Dragon Boat on the weekend. Saturday, was that Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday, right after the party.
Yeah, we put a team together, Key Biscayers. We were called the Misfits. And we were named that before we actually put the team together. Victoria Jackson asked me to put a team together. So I called a couple, like 3 Type A women. And I said, hey, listen, what do you think about putting a team together? And they're like, okay, let's go. We got this. So it was great. And we had a great time. James Walcott actually participated in.
Shout out to James.
Shout out to James. He said he couldn't be here tonight. He's a friend of the show. James came and he went to the practice and he brought a guy with him. He brought this guy his name was Ryan, and he was 29-year-old, like a 29-year-old firefighter. This guy was like 29-year-old firefighter, Abercrombie and Fitch model. This guy was.
Wow.
So they loved him. Everyone loved him. But he couldn't row, right? So that was the challenge.
What?
Yeah, he kept catching crabs and all that. So, but whatever. He
By the
came.
way,
and
everybody catches crabs.
and we caught him at the end. We crashed at the end.
When you row, there's a thing called crabs.
Well, the thing about James is, James showed up. He was a little banged up from the night before. I don't know where he was. James, maybe you can call in 305-361.
8557.
Give us a call and let us know where you were. But then his buddy Ryan, who was 29, wasn't showing up. And I go, dude, we need this guy. He's like, Manny, he was out late last night. I go, James, the guy's freaking 29 years old, man. I'm a 50-year-old man. I was out late last night too. I was at the beach club party.
Yeah.
But the guy showed up. Thank God, and we had a good team. We made it to the final four in our category.
Out of how many?
Out of 8 teams.
Oh, nice.
So
We had an
whatever.
Olympic,
Well, hang on, we can't hear you. You can speak right there into that mic if you want.
We had an
Yeah.
Olympic competitor who was our coach for the 2 of the 3 races. His name was Mark.
Yeah, Mark was another stud that was out
Yeah.
there. This guy was like dropped out of Hawaii.
Done dragon boat racing in the Olympics. Is that what they call it?
Good
in the
move,
Olympics?
guys.
Yeah.
Getting Olympic.
Well, we lost the final 4. We got 4th place, so we lost that heat. At the end, our team just fell apart. Like we were not in sync. We were splashing. We couldn't even show anybody the final video of us racing because it was so splashy. And then we went to the yacht club and had drinks till about 8:30. It was fun.
Nice.
And
All
a
right.
good cause.
Anybody else want to talk about their weekend?
And a good cause.
Actually, this is kind of related to the Dragon Race. So I recently bought a small sailboat with Roman. Super small, 27-foot Catalina. Super
great.
Awesome. Yeah, it's
That's
an
awesome.
amazing little boat to go sail. And we have it anchored. We have it anchored right next to where they have the Dragon Race, right in front of the Marine Stadium. And so I show up. I guess it was on Friday, and the boat's gone. Completely gone.
What?
Yeah. And I'm like, I call Rowan. I'm like, dude, did you move the boat? He's like, what? I'm like, did you move the boat? He's like, no. I'm like, well, the boat isn't here. And I'm looking, and then I kind of like look, and it was on the complete other side of the bay. And it was just so weird. So I think because of the dragon race,
they moved your boat.
Oh,
Yeah.
they moved it.
So the reason we're here right now is because we got moved from over there.
Oh,
I mean,
wait,
we
we
never
got moved?
hung out there.
Yeah.
So do you remember before the boat show for like 2 weeks, there were a couple of sailboats that were just off Hobie Beach, and then they got graffitied, and they
Yes.
Yeah.
because
Yes.
they had been moored at the Marine Stadium, and somebody, whoever runs
Yeah,
the area, took
they-
it upon themselves to move those boats over to
Out of the way, yeah.
Other side.
So
Yeah.
they were here
So-
on the bay side, and a big
No.
storm
Yeah, I
came
remember
through
that.
and blew them
That's terrible.
towards. But the owners had no say in the matter.
So that's not a good place to keep your boat, but this is a pretty good place. This hasn't moved in a year and a
The thing is
half.
that it's a sailboat. I don't know if
I didn't notice
Don't
we
bring
were
your boat here, by the way.
Remember the boats that
What?
got graffiti?
Yeah, I do.
Very cool.
That was there for a long
It was
time.
cool, actually, that they were there.
All right, well, that's weekend talk. Nobody has anything else, right?
The only thing I'd like to add to the Caleb story, because
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
going back to Caleb. Listen, it's just the fact that it's an island. That's why it was a little bit weird. Like for you to end up here, you know what I mean? It's not like you just come across a house party somewhere. You came towards it. You crossed two bridges, or you came by boat. You know, well, you know what I mean? It's like that. That was strange. Because
Yeah.
if it were, somewhere where there's a lot, it's just you came to an island.
You know what? If his attitude would have been a little different, I think we would have been fine with it.
Yeah, if
honestly.
you would have given a straight story.
Exactly.
He was
Well,
telling me he was
that too. I mean,
Colombian, and
obviously.
he didn't
I think
look
we would have been
a
fine
bit
with it.
Colombian.
Well, I'll say this too, that he came to, it was me and 3 or 4 other blonde, light-eyed people, and he goes, can you guys believe it? I'll tell you what I am. I'm Colombian. And I'm like, you're asking the wrong group of people because I'm
We're all
Brazilian, he's
Colombian.
Cuban, you're Spanish. No, it was a bunch of people from South America, but we're all blonde with light eyes. So we're like, dude, we don't care. That's not a big deal. So you could be Colombian and redheaded and whatever, but his stories didn't match up, whatever.
Yeah, everything was just weird
It's
about it.
amazing how he did end up in Key Biscayne, but
Yeah.
I guess
I'm
it's
sure
not,
there is a story.
But the thing
There
is
has
that
to be.
it's not. I guess think about it. If you're a drifter, and you're looking for places to go, and you're in the Miami area, you Google like awesome neighborhoods or the best neighborhood. I don't know. Like Key Biscayne is probably one of the best neighborhoods, in the East Coast. Period.
Yeah.
So
There you
I
go.
mean, it's Googleable, I guess. GTS.
Yeah.
Google that shit.
All right.
I bet you Manny likes that.
G-Man, can you talk to us about the Krusty Cup?
The Krusty Cup. The quest for the Krusty Cup. I wasn't actually at the matches this past Sunday.
Oh, really?
'cause I had to work. Yeah, so the games went on. So far, Grant's team, which is called Riptide, is lossless with a 3-0 record, I believe. My team hasn't won a single game. Juan Paz's team, Uncrustables, hasn't won a single game. Newcomer TJ Morel, whose team is called Homebrew, I think they've won 1 and lost 2. Whatever. Grant is dominating as usual, and we're hoping that the tide changes there. But his team is so good, and this weekend is a subject of a lot of controversy over subs. So we're having a lot of problems with that.
What's happening?
The group chat is blowing up, and people have left the chat, and there's a lot of anger going on. Why? Why are they're asking me? Well,
Tell us why.
the Crust Tournament, the problem has always been the subbing issue. Basically, people can't make it, and then they want somebody else to play for this person, and then we open up the door by allowing it to happen one time, and then before you know it, everybody's trying to sub out on their team, and it's a huge controversy of who gets allowed and who doesn't get allowed to sub. So to solve that problem, I made the teams. The first Crust Tournament, there was 5 people on each team. Now there's 11 people on each team. So for you to not field at regulation 7 people, 4 of your guys have to be no-shows. Okay, so that was it was built in, and we're still having issues with one of the captains who basically 6 out of his 11 people can't make it because it's Easter this weekend. But Easter's a morning holiday. Do you guys all agree on that?
I agree. Yes, I agree.
Okay, so 6 out of 11 people can't make it, including himself. And we're nice enough to allow a few subs, but some of them got rejected. And it's been the
By
same
who?
thing in the past.
Who rejects them? Is there a board?
At the end of the day, it's me because I'm like, who is this guy?
He's a commish.
I don't really know this person.
Yeah, 'cause
Why
you're a
is he
ringer.
playing?
It's a dictatorship.
You're getting done a favor by me because I made your team 11 people strong so that you didn't have to take these subs. And it's a favor that you get to have these subs. And then they propose them, and then I shoot them down, and then I'm the bad guy because it's not fair or whatever. But that's the burden's
doing
on
what you
you.
have to do, man.
Your team
You're doing what
doesn't.
you
Your
have to
team
do.
doesn't show up as per the rules I laid out in the beginning. You forfeit. But
You have a captain's meeting.
yeah, I
lay
mean,
out all the
it's not as squared away as you might put on, but I do lay out the sub rules because that has been the number one issue always. It's like, oh, we don't have this guy, can they play? And a lot of times we want to make allowances for that because people like Brad and Brigitte Newsome, who play frisbee with us all the time, are coming in town this weekend, and it's a perfect fit. They can sub in.
Oh, so they're going to sub in.
They are,
And
yeah.
they're allowed to sub in.
Yeah, because
And they're as good as it gets in every way of the word.
Yes.
So
They met playing frisbee.
right, and
if I'm not
I want to
mistaken.
include them because they had to leave town because their kids need to be schooled up in North Carolina or whatever's best for the family. But they're coming in town. Well, they wanted to be in Asheville, but they're coming in town for one weekend, so I wanted to make that happen. So we allowed that to happen.
That's great.
But in any case, there was a lot of controversy with that, and people just, I hate to say this, but just like entitlement. Like, well, why is it like this? Like, I made your team 11 people so that you would have enough people to play, and if you can't have those people show up, it's on you. Sorry, this is like the
No,
commissioner's
let me
corner
tell you,
rant right now.
a little.
Good, I like it.
But
a
it's
little
like,
fun fact. I designed the disc before the thing even started, and I put a mention on the disc about the amount of crying that there is in the
Crusty,
damn
yeah.
the tears.
Is it
The
secrets or is it like very
none of us have
clear?
seen-
It's very clear.
Oh,
It's
it
very
is?
clear. Like the amount of whining there is in the league, basically.
most people are perfectly cool, and I picked the captains based on their ability to like work with me to work stuff out because it's just all for fun, you know.
Yeah.
Clearly,
But
there's one captain that's giving you some
Who
trouble.
is
let's,
it?
let's out him right now.
Trivia, who is the captain?
Let's out him right now. Let's out him right now.
But it's just like the thing got brought up, like, oh, I went through all this trouble, and it's like, I mean, I don't make any money off this, and this is a Calusa Club venture, by the way. We all put in effort to make this happen, and we don't make any money.
It's not for profit.
Yeah.
That's the Calusa Club motto. Pay the fees. We don't make any money.
Hey,
Let me just throw this out
like
there.
the human
right?
fund.
Win a koozie. You'll be square.
We think we're gonna make money.
Yeah.
But we never do
Yeah.
on stuff
they're
like this because look, we play in a Grove League. I paid $65 to play on a substandard City of Miami field with poor lighting, crappy jerseys, and a schedule that's always fluctuating because it's subject to City of Miami events. This is $45. You get a custom-made frisbee with a $1,000 design made by Rafa, who's a member of the Calusa Club. You get a jersey included in it. You get to play on a state-of-the-art turf field right next to Miami. You get hooked up for $45, and there's kegs
That's a deal.
to be had.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hell of a
And there's
deal.
kegs.
It's a hell of a deal.
Kegs.
And this isn't just like we just like pencil it in. We have to organize. We have to design. We have to order. We
Time.
have to front money. That's
Yeah.
why the club exists. It's a effort.
Yeah.
But people come and they think like I guess they're so used to just consuming things and being entitled to stuff that they think that they have like some say in things. And
That's
they're like,
the
you
issue.
paid your money. This is how it's going to be, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know.
But
So that's kind of the management style I'm
But
moving
the
towards.
issue of entitlement, I guess, is it goes everywhere, you know. But I guess in this sense, for you, that this is not for profit. In a way, it should be people show up and they play and it's for fun. And if they're
Right.
not there for that, sense, then
Yeah, and I think the one conflict of interest that gets perceived is I'm running the thing, but I also play in it, and I have to be on a team. So anything that I might decide in my team's favor gets,
Hey.
might get painted that way. But hey,
Haters gonna
I guess
hate.
you should have drafted me
Haters
that.
gonna hate, yeah.
haters gonna hit always.
yeah, that's another thing,
People
right?
like to complain.
That's
People like it.
an attribute on
Look, all right, just to close, I put a hard
On the
I put a
skill
hard
set.
line on no subs this year. Hard line. Last weekend I wasn't there. My team happened to be down a person. They mutually agreed, hey, let's take on a sub. So that kind of set a precedent, and that opened the doors, and that's kind of where we're at right now. In any case, come out Sunday. We're playing at 5:30, 7 o'clock, Mass Field. And it's always a great time, and I'm sure lots of good sportsmanship will be had.
And all these issues are resolved before anybody gets out there.
Oh, yeah.
there's
And
no-
people join the chats
But for the
again.
people that are listening, you have to understand what it is to go out there on a Sunday at Mass Field. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
The The field is amazing, and it's a lot of fun. Everybody's in jerseys. Bring your beers, bring your drinks. It's actually a really good time.
Yeah, we used to play on the Village Green, and it was like a little bit more community oriented that time because people could just walk by, and there was girls who would bring out their wine and stuff. Now people have to make a drive. It's a short drive, but it's still enough of a barrier where people sometimes won't show up to be like in the crowd, and that's the only thing we lost. But if you guys have ever been out to Mass Field, it's amazing.
All right. Well, moving on real quick. Let's do everything's kind of real quick tonight. But what are you listening to? I will go first. I have been listening to a band called Noname. Well, she's called Noname, but she has a backing band, live band. It's hip hop. First hip hop stuff I've listened to in years. I thought I would never. I've told everybody this. I thought I would never listen to hip hop again. I don't like hip hop, and I thought I would never get back into it.
Is this new hip hop or old school hip hop?
This is new.
It's not the hip hop what people think of hip hop. I don't think it's that.
No,
it's a more of like it sounds like poetry.
Is it a lyrical hip hop? Kind of like an old
super.
It kind of reminds me of the Roots in the sense that they have a live band, but it's not as like.
It's a mix of the Roots and Floetry. This band from like the early 2000s. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, the song's called Diddy Bop, and I suggest you guys all check out the album. It's called Telephone, Noname Telephone, and it's just really good.
Many years ago, I wasn't into hip hop either, and I still I'm not really into it, but I like the older stuff. And you just mentioned a band that I've been thinking for a while, and it's called The Roots, and they're from Philly, and they have like this jazz. You want to call it R&B, hip hop? I don't know, but it's really good. And one of their older albums, they have a song called "Do You Want More?" And I got a little Scottish in me, and it starts off with little bagpipes. Check it out. It's really good. It's a little bit older. And older, I mean probably late 90s, 97, 98.
You say you have a little Scotsman in you?
I do. I do. I'm not completely German,
Griff was going to wear a kilt at his wedding, but he didn't. Okay, Anna, what are you listening to?
I'm listening to, I often get music actually from soundtracks because when there's a good music director, they can be really amazing and a good way to learn about new bands. And I watched this miniseries on HBO called Big Little Lies, and the soundtrack is actually really amazing. A lot of people when I started researching about it, are writing about it. This song is called Ball and Chain. The band is called Big Brother and the Holding Company. I don't want to sound lame and say I don't know them, and you guys all know them, but they're from 1960. This album is 1968 from an album called Cheap Thrills. Do you guys know this band?
I just know it from the soundtrack because I've been listening to it as well.
Good,
it's unreal.
The soundtrack, it's like
Big Brother and the Holding Company was the backup of who?
I don't know.
The Grateful Dead.
No, they don't need a backup.
They are the man. I believe it was. Come on now.
I don't know. Give us a hint.
She was the hardest rocker in the 60s.
Janis Joplin?
Boom.
Really?
You know what? When I was
so.
listening to it, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start suggesting Janis Joplin for the radio. So that makes sense because I did think of her when I heard the band.
I'm going to go with Janis Joplin, me and Bobby McGee right there so we can just pair it up there and sync it up.
G-Man?
Last week my pick was Paul Simon, Slip Sliding Away. This time it's Paul Simon, Diamonds on the Soles of Her Shoes.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's oh, you're a Graceland guy. Everybody loves that album.
I've been going over a lot of Josh Ritter. Josh Ritter came out with a new album last year, and he's been around for about a decade now. So pretty much recommend any of his stuff. Change of Time is one of his great songs. I think it was on a soundtrack recently. I think Parenthood soundtrack, and been playing a lot of his music lately.
Parenthood has good music.
Yeah, really good music.
It's all like,
there's a Spotify playlist of every song on the whole, like That's 6 awesome. Seasons.
That's awesome.
And it's worth playing on Spotify.
Cool, yeah. I recently got into a record player. I got a record player and I got a bunch of records. And
good ones, too.
Yeah, there's few records, but there's these 2 records that I've been listening to nonstop that are from the Beastie Boys that you wouldn't believe is the Beastie Boys because it's all instrumental music. And it's 2 of them. One of them is called In Sounds from Way Out. And that's a French collective version of all the instrumental songs they did. And then there's another one called
What album is this from?
that is the album.
That is the album.
That is the
Yeah.
album. Yeah, they actually it was a club in France that got together, put this record together with all the Beastie Boys instrumental songs. And the record's
They
actually
have great
in
songs,
France.
by the way.
amazing.
Their Hello Nasty album at the end has really good instrumental stuff.
And I just blanked
can't
out on the
remember
other name of the album, but it's
You don't know it?
also instrumental.
I don't know the name of the
Orange
album.
cover.
I know the cover. Yeah, exactly.
It's amazing.
They're
cover.
amazing.
Yeah.
Anyways, look for those instrumental from Beastie Boys.
They're gonna be on the radio soon.
Yeah, amazing.
Hey, wait, can I ask you something? What was the name of that track that you told me this is my favorite Bob song?
Dude, actually, I was just thinking about that because a friend of mine, and obviously this is somewhat deep, but we lose friends in the things that I do sometimes, and this song is super deep in what it talks about in a person's journey on Earth. Rastaman Chant
Oh, wow.
is the name of the song by Bob Marley. Probably has the most amazing guitar solo I've ever heard in a Bob Marley song, and it is my personal favorite Bob Marley song. And it brings me, I'm not kidding, it brings me chills every time I listen to the end of that song because I guess I connect with it so deeply, but it's
Vite,
beautiful.
what is it called again?
Rastaman Chant.
I'll write it down for you.
Please
All
write it
right.
down for me.
Yeah, just a quick footnote here. And Big Brother and the Holding Company is an American rock band that formed in San Francisco in 1965 as part of the same psychedelic movement that brought the Grateful Dead,
There you go.
Quicksilver, and Messenger Service, Jefferson Airplane. Members included Janis Joplin, Sam
Yes.
Andrew, James Gurley,
you
also
go.
and others. So that was the
soundtrack
band she was in.
It's really good. I thought I'd put that kind of music because sometimes I go a little bit indie contemporary stuff, and I wanted to throw it back to that. But the soundtrack has everything from Elvis Presley to something like that. To who was it that Jonathan likes? Charles Barkley.
Charles Bradley.
Bradley. Sorry,
yeah.
Barkley, but Bradley.
Horrible basketball player.
Yeah, I'm like Charles Barkley. I know that came out wrong. But then like Sade, and Leon Bridges.
That's funny
The
that you mentioned
soundtrack-
soundtracks because not that many people still follow soundtracks.
Well, the thing is, some of these shows are getting. I mean, I listened to another show called Flake. That had a great soundtrack too. It's a good way to find music.
It's a really good way to
because
find music.
the music directors just pick a great playlist. It's
They're
big
all-
that plays for you.
They're also not putting the really like recognizable songs of each band. because
Exactly.
They can't. You can't. I mean, they do have Jefferson Airplane, White Rabbit, and then you're like, oh, lame.
Guys,
So good, but lame.
guys, we have a call.
Oh.
Hey, we have a call. Hold on a second, caller. Hey, what do you want? Hey, you're on Rat Radio. What's going
Oh,
on?
with the champagne.
Am I on? I can't hear you.
Well, you gotta hold on.
Hold on.
Hang on.
Hold on.
We're having technical difficulties here in the show.
Yeah, you're on, man.
Okay, there we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah, barely. I mean, I can
up.
hear you, but I don't think the panel can. But I'll repeat what you say. What's up?
Hang on, Rafa. I'm messing up here. I don't know what's going on.
You talk loud.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Rafa, you got
Why
a
is
Why is this
speakerphone?
not-
Tell him to call me.
Why is
So you're-
this not working?
Tell him to call us because your phone.
Okay,
is
try
broken.
again.
Okay, I'll try again.
Your phone.
All right, call somebody. Call. Yeah.
Hey, whoever that
So
caller
actually-
was, call 305-321-9571.
I just remembered the name of the album from the Beastie Boys.
There you go.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
It's called The Mix Up.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
The Mix Up, super good. That's probably better than the one I told you before. That's definitely super
are-
funky.
both good names for albums.
Yeah.
So
Hope you enjoy.
we had a caller and
Who is he calling? Anybody?
It's Danny Diaz.
It was Danny.
Oh, it's Danny.
Is it Rafa?
All right. Well, we're moving on.
Should I call him?
Just need
No,
something.
no. I'm moving on.
Okay.
If he calls, Danny, if you want to call Anna or Manny. It'll be fine. All right. Talk of the town. I'm going to go into the serious stuff first, and then we get into more lighthearted stuff. The first thing is that, remember how we talked about Crandon Park last week and everything that's happening there?
The possibility of the village.
I got the actual details of what they are proposing. So I'm going to tell you guys if you have more opinions. If not, I think we should let this simmer. But I'm going to tell you guys. What they
Can you just quickly set the stage real quick?
Okay. The Key wants to buy in to the Crandon Park junta, or whatever you want to call it, the committee. Okay? And it's gonna. Oh, look at you! We got somebody here that can.
No.
Okay. So the details are as follows. the proposal would do this, okay? So right now, there's 3 seats for Miami-Dade, correct me if I'm wrong, and 1 seat for Bruce Matheson, okay? And Bruce Matheson, he is very much against doing anything in the park, anything at all, right? And so the proposal would have 3 seats of Miami-Dade, 3 seats of Matheson family members, which I presume that Bruce would be one of them, but 2 more. And then that makes 6, and then a tiebreaker vote would go to the village, okay? And for that, we pay $20 million to the Matheson family because they have the rights right now. So we'd be basically asking them, here's money for you to cede your rights to this agreement and put us on the thing. Key Biscayne leaders like the idea because if Bruce Matheson dies, we're the only ones who really care about the park staying small. Miami-Dade, the mayor actually likes the proposal because he doesn't like Bruce Matheson, and he likes the Key, and he thinks that he could work with the Key better than with Bruce. And the other Bruce Matheson family members, the other Matheson family, they like the idea because, $20 million is $20 million. So that's basically what's on the table.
Rafa, a point of clarification. Is this for a particular part of Crandon Park?
No.
Or the overall general management of Crandon Park?
The overall general management of Crandon Park. It's kind of like in the news, you keep hearing that it's all about Calusa Park.
Exactly.
But we would get on the board for the whole of Crandon Park. And then the problem is that, so right now it's Bruce Matheson, 1 seat, and the other seats for the Miami-Dade. And then it's going to be 3 Miami-Dade, 3 Matheson family, and 1 Key Biscayne. Now, it's thought that the other Matheson family people kind of feel the same way as Bruce to a certain extent, but that's not 100% sure. I mean, they might just be like, well, we'll sign off on whatever.
Is Miami-Dade already in the seats, or are they buying in as well?
No, they're already in the seats.
How much did they pay for their seats? Do we know?
No, they didn't have to pay. The Crandon Park was part of Miami.
So
the original deal had them.
That was made to the Key by the...
No. The Key made the offer.
So as a taxpayer on Key Biscayne, I would say that there is no amount of money that is too much money in order to get the right to have a voice in this issue that we don't have a voice in right now and haven't. And we have had some people representing us with the Matheson family, but to actually get our own voice is worth $20 million or $50 million or whatever it is, because Key Biscayne, we're lucky enough to have the resources, and that's...
It would just be really interesting to figure out how they got that number. I mean, I know it's kind of difficult, but anyway, just a thought.
I have 2 problems with this. A, I don't think the other Matheson or the other rest of the family members really have any pull. And second, if the village could pull $20 million out of nowhere, why aren't they spending it on other things on the island?
They're not pulling it out of nowhere. We've known that there's
But if there's that kind of reserves, why aren't we spending it on other things?
I mean, you can make it.
Yeah, what's more important than controlling the park that takes up a lot of the island and it's adjacent to us and we have to drive through it and events happen at? I mean, that's a pretty big priority.
So, I mean, I just think $20 million is a lot of money.
It has to be.
Not really.
It's definitely planned.
That's 1 house on the Key. Are you kidding me?
So I'll tell you the thing that sold me, because I was also kind of like, why don't we just spend this money on buying out properties here on the Key? The worry is that, well, if you can buy a Mackle for 1.8, we could get 10 Mackles. You know what I mean? I don't know.
We could have a fun Pilates park.
The worry is that we don't get on this board and Bruce Matheson dies, and then we're shut out completely. And they kind of sold me on that.
And we don't have a timeline yet of when the decision is going to be made, right?
No.
And what is the worst case scenario of us losing our voice to the park? I mean, do you think the city of Miami
Genting is going to open a casino?
No.
Downtown Miami.
No, okay.
That's what I mean. I think that it's established as a park. I mean, they can't just up and put buildings.
No, I'll tell you a worst case scenario. So we don't get a voice and Bruce Matheson dies, okay? Bruce Matheson dies. So the Miami-Dade already wanted to get the PGA Tour here. They want to expand the tennis center. The tennis center put forward a proposal that didn't have to expand the actual tennis center, okay? But that was still shut down. But if they didn't have Bruce Matheson, I mean, it's
That would've
likely
happened.
they would not have put forward a proposal that didn't have to expand. Why not
They
expand?
would've just
You know
done
what
it.
I mean? Miami-Dade, why are they parking people on Virginia Key for the tennis? Why? Like, if they could have their way, why not just make more parking, right? I mean, doesn't that make sense?
suck.
Doesn't that make logical sense for them?
That would destroy the environment.
I mean, but doesn't that make logical
would-
sense for them?
parking
And
makes
especially
sense,
for their voters
which would be
who
horrible.
don't come here at all, except for once a year to go to the tennis or maybe go to the beach. The people that go to the beach, they don't get a
They
voice
have
on
no
it.
clue.
Yeah, they have no voice.
Or
in
maybe they go to
any
the
of it.
aqua party.
Exactly. So it's.
So let me ask you this: how do you feel about?
I'm kind of turning to the idea, but I still worry that the Key will vote to do expansions in the park.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I think the
What's
Key
going to
will
happen
vote.
when they say, you know what, we want to build 4 stadiums at the tennis because we need 4 stadiums. We need 4 stadium courts there.
They will do it.
I think if there's one thing we can do here without even having to buy, our seat on the table as the Key, is maybe talk to Mr. Hamas himself, and he can somehow write in that it cannot change.
Thoughtful of wishes, my friend.
Like,
a lot
like,
harder.
He
Super
can
hard.
donate the property, but it cannot change. There's many parks that are like
Well, that's what he did. Well, that's what his grandfather did.
right, but then why can't he do it? And then that
Because he doesn't have that
He already
control.
lost the.
Yeah, he doesn't have that
yeah.
control.
20 million is a lot of money, and with
lot.
you can make Key Biscayne self-sustainable of electricity if you put hydroelectricity generators in the entrance of Bearcut for 20 million.
Well,
You could. I mean, I just to me to think 20 million. I'm not against the conservation of the park. I'm all about it,
no.
but it just sounds. It sounds like 20 million would it be too much, and they would have to get a better price. Like this is something that you have to try to get a better price for,
Well,
especially if you. Can
I want you guys to simmer on this for
let's-
next week when we're not in the same situation with the party and all that stuff. Simmer on these ideas, and we're going to come back and we're going to talk about this when everybody has the information
done
and
some
has
research and
has done a little
Yeah.
more
Talking
research
about-
and
We're gonna
everything.
Exactly.
let's bring some qualified folks out here
I
as
would
well.
Yes,
love to bring some
absolutely.
qualified folks.
So we're gonna
Yeah.
bring some people out here. So stay tuned next
Exactly. So I just wanted to clarify because I brought it up last week and I didn't really explain it well. That's kind of what's on the line. I suggest that you read and reach out to
Okay, so
your.
that was
Bruce
the-
Matheson.
oh my,
To the
oh
show.
my god, I
Let's
would
do
love that.
it. Good idea.
Oh my god, I would love that. Okay, let's move on.
That was the heavy stuff.
That was the heavy stuff.
We like light stuff. No, I'm joking.
Okay. You want some light stuff?
light stuff.
Okay. Key Biscayne has a new fire truck.
Oh lordy.
And one of the things they
Are you looking
said,
at me?
it's shiny, and not just that, you're going to laugh at this.
This is funny.
They said it's great because it has a really long ladder for high rises.
No, it said
now-
it can reach all the Key Biscayne high rises.
It can reach all the Key Biscayne high rises.
No,
Now,
that's
you
not
know what's
true.
funny about this? Is that anytime anything happens on the Key with a high rise, like that incident where that guy fell out the window the other day.
Cranberry-
Well, he didn't fall
cranberry.
out. His scaffolding broke. Okay, so that happened. Who comes out to respond? None other than G-Man's City of Miami Fire
Oh,
Department.
what is a high rise?
Well, whatever.
I mean, what's the highest
I'm
Key Biscayne?
asking you.
15?
Huh?
15?
A high rise is a building 7 floors or higher.
Oh,
Oh,
so there are
okay.
high rises in Key Biscayne.
Yeah.
And there's no ladder in the world based on a truck that can reach the top of even the buildings we have on Key Biscayne that have.
12 at least.
13.
floors.
Yeah, what's the highest building on the Key? I mean, there's,
Casa del Mar.
Yeah,
20
ca-
there's
28 floors.
there's no such thing.
Thanks.
What do you know about that,
Why
Vite?
do you
Well,
know?
I want to know how tall the ladder is. Maybe the ladder it's jumpable because it's been done before. Jump
Vite-
from a fire truck ladder.
Oh.
He doesn't have
Getting
skydiving.
Yeah, Vite, yeah.
Getting ideas, BT.
So I thought that was funny
Well,
because
then the Islander News needs to reprint that for next week because they said the whole point is that it's a ladder that can reach the Key Biscayne
I mean,
high
I
rise.
think it's probably just lost in translation. They talked about it and they don't really understand. And,
the Islander
you know.
doesn't hit it like we do.
but I mean,
Exactly.
if it's an aerial truck, which Miami has, the biggest truck they have is a 100-foot ladder, and 100 feet doesn't. It's 7 floors because you're putting it at a
7
tilt.
floors. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
That's
glad.
jumpable.
Well, 70 feet is floors, but you're putting it at an angle if you have the access, whatever. But that's
But the things I
That's
always
really
say
irrelevant,
is
you know?
how come real quick, how come Miami Fire Department or Miami-Dade always respond to our calls, to our bigger calls?
But
because
wait a second, I
it's-
thought Key Biscayne was also involved in this rescue. At
In the Grand
weren't
Bay
they? Yeah, Key
scaffolding
Biscayne was.
painter dude
Sure.
one?
And what it is fire departments don't scale down very well because the fire department has a million aspects to it. There's technical rescue team, which is what you're talking about. When somebody gets stuck on scaffolding, there's a specialty team, which is in Miami is a technical rescue team. But on Key Biscayne, a fire department of like 40 guys, you can't have those specialties. You know, in Miami there's dive rescue, technical rescue, hazardous materials team, all these different teams because you're hundreds of people, so you can have specialty teams that respond within a small area. So they've basically adopted Key Biscayne as like another City of Miami station, really. And the same thing if an accident happened, like for example, I'm at the hazmat station, which is downtown. If a hazmat emergency happened in the Grove, we would go to that. Just like if a hazmat situation or a TRT, meaning rope rescue kind of stuff, happened in the Grove, they would come from another Miami station. So it's not that the Key isn't really covering itself. It's just that one station on its own can't cover itself. And they're a part of the greater Miami network of fire stations. It's really
How
what it
come
looks like.
the Key firefighters never show up in
They
the
do.
photos?
They're always the first on the what?
in the photos.
What photos?
On the news?
The
on
news.
NBC?
Oh.
Whatever.
Because when there's something happens on the Key, I've rushed out to the Key a lot of times because it's just like they send. If there's a pot on the stove out here, the cavalry comes from Miami, like hauling ass. You know?
Okay.
Do you
And
guys
a lot of
remember
people.
when the Ocean Club caught on fire?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I was coming in from Elliott Key, probably 11 miles away, and it was just a mushroom cloud. We were all like,
Yeah.
"Whoa, what just
Keep in
happened?"
mind, this was like 1999.
No, this was like 2001 or 2002,
yeah.
something like that. But still, I mean, we had every fire department in
Right.
South Florida come in for that. That was big.
The name of the game and the fire department is send way too many people because you never know. And that's why you always see a scene with so many people standing around because really you don't know what could happen, why you might need those more people, and that's why you get the reputation. Like, why are all these people there?
Sounds like it's a collaborative effort, and we know it's a brotherhood too, right? So
Like I say, like you can't have a one station fire department like stand alone. You can't cover all bases that way. So that's why you see Miami.
Gotcha. Okay. Talking about restaurants, a lot of things have happened with restaurants here on the Key. I got a couple of things going here. The Golden Hog bought out the place next door, the little vitamin health shop. You
Which
guys
was
know
a
that?
clothing store for a long time, by the way, in between.
the
Yeah.
corner shop.
It was
Yeah.
called something with a K.
The
like a
corner
front
of the
of
Harbor
Twin
Plaza right there.
Hold on.
They knocked down the wall already, from what I understand.
They did. I was there the other day and I peeked through because they took out that back wall where like the
That means
like dairy was.
That means the price of your tomatoes are going up to $6 per
Well-
tomato.
But guys, but let me tell you something.
But wait.
It looks number one, it's almost done. They're just waiting for permits, is what they said. Because I had a little chat with the lady. Go ahead.
They are putting in a butcher shop and
A fish market.
a fish market.
Yeah,
Which
and
is-
you could pick your meat and have them grill it for you.
Ooh,
Okay.
and you can eat
Can
it
I
right
have my
there.
cake and eat it too.
Apparently, at the new Golden Hawk. No, I'm joking. I shouldn't keep doing commercials for Golden Hawk. Like, let's judge it first when it opens. But
No.
they should be open within less than a month. They're getting the permits. It looks so nice.
So to me, the big thing is the fish, because even though we're on an island in Florida,
It's all frozen.
it seems very hard to get good fish unless you go to the docks.
Let's see how it goes, though. No,
Yeah, it hasn't lasted because we had that seafood place right next to Belanger. Remember, it lasted about 6 months.
Well, they were importing all. They thought that the trick was
Yeah,
to
that's
import
right.
all their fish,
Jeez.
when the trick is to get the local fish and bring it to the people, because it's just hard to find. Where am I going to go buy hog
the Grove. Sorry.
like in a shop?
The
You know,
Grove has
it's like
a
it's
bunch
just
of
hard to
fish.
find. You go to Winn-Dixie and all they have is tilapia and salmon.
Peruvian mahi. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I'm not looking for
The
Peruvian. I'm
Grove
looking for
has a lot of local dudes, man, selling good stuff.
Yeah, no, but that's
that's the Grove.
that's
That's not
stuff
the
that should be in every neighborhood. So I'm kind of happy with this Golden Hog thing.
By the way, before I interrupt you, Golden Hog's been doing something really good for the community. They've actually opened up their second place in Key Colony, which we raved about it last year.
Yeah, that's good for the community.
Well,
Hey, it's
If
good
you
for me
live
and
in
Jonathan.
if you live in Key Colony.
It's good for me and Jonathan.
Yeah, but
Hey, like a good fifth of the community lives there.
look, and on top of that, now they actually got a contract for Las Olas. where Los Olas was before they got the contract, and it was something that they put up. They put a bid for it, and it was heavily scrutinized to the menu, to the pricing, and they did a fantastic job. And they're gonna have something really special. We all enjoyed Los Olas before, and we have our gripes and
We
stuff.
love Los Olas.
But
Forever.
now with Golden Hog, and I think they're putting out something really good, and they have something really good going for them, and I'll follow them. You know, I'm all about it.
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I hope
I'm not
the
lying.
Golden Hog becomes the kind of Whole Foods we don't have in the key in a way, you know?
Yeah, but raspberries and blackberries are super expensive.
They are, but let me tell you, who
I'm not
has the
talking
best
about the
avocados?
price, I guess. I'm
Guys,
talking about the...
who has the best avocados in Manny? It's
They do.
Golden Hog.
They do.
You want to make a guacamole? You want to eat an avocado? That same day, you go to Golden Hog.
Yeah, you're
not going.
Mexicano.
Okay. all right.
You're not eating an avocado anywhere else. Same day.
So I just
Okay.
wanted to put that in.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Sorry, we're going
Okay.
on a fun tangent.
There's a new restaurant in the Galleria. It's called Brasas. It's chicken.
It is chicken, and it's rotisserie chicken. It's delicious, and on the sides they got French fries and that Peruvian corn. It's really good. The only downside and the only complaint that I'll have, it's a little expensive. You know, you're getting a...
You're on the key.
No, but still, I mean, why would I go to this place that has rotisserie chicken, pay $20, or I'll just go to Winn-Dixie and pay 10 or 12?
Well,
Is
you
it
could
better
do the
than
same
the
with
Winn-Dixie?
But it's
Probably.
10 times better, and
Yeah?
it's worth it, and the quality's good. I hope it all works out for them.
So
it's where Mondo Pasta was. Just so yeah.
That place was bound to fail. I mean, when
I
I
agree,
saw
I'm
it,
not
I was like,
lying.
who
Who
thought of
pasta
this
like this?
idea?
They have it. It's off the key. They have it somewhere off the
I
key.
just didn't keep his skin.
Yeah, it doesn't win
It's the
anymore.
worst.
So I heard Pablo Araya is
That's what I understood.
involved in that thing. So that's like 30 points if you go there.
Jonathan, did you know? Because
Yeah, he is. He's
Oh, there
times
you go.
1.5.
He is.
All right.
It's free points, man.
Moving on.
You should have done it. You would have won.
You won.
Danny, if you're out
We
there
got,
still
we got a
listening,
little fun thing
call
for
back.
you right
I
now.
didn't pick up
You know
because I
what you
don't
never
have
Oh,
his phone.
shiz, I forgot.
Sorry, Danny called me and I don't have his number on my phone, so I didn't realize it was him.
Oh, we
Guys,
fucked it
can
up.
I call Danny? Can we just freaking
We'll call
call
him.
Danny?
Danny, we're
Okay.
calling you right now.
Danny, get ready.
Answer the phone.
I'm calling you. Hold on.
Sorry, Rafa.
We're like
for
waiting
interrupting
for Danny to call. Let's just call him.
Okay, we're calling our buddy, Danny.
DB, friend of the show. Played music on the
Huge
show.
friend of the
Hey,
show.
Danny, you're on the air.
All right, what's up, everybody?
you. What's
Yeah.
up, everybody?
And then,
What's up, Danny?
Man, it was great to drive on the island and get to listen to the show on the way in. You guys are doing a great job.
Thank
Heard
you.
some interesting chatter. Learned about some interesting events, and so shout out to y'all.
Yeah.
Shout out right back.
How are we sounding?
Sounding great, man. I actually picked it up when I was still kind of in the Brickell area,
Good.
and was able to listen all the way in, man. So it made the drive in nice.
Good to hear.
Not too
And
bad.
yeah, it sounded great. And so I wanted to talk about a couple quick things.
Yeah.
I thought the tennis was excellent. I got to go a bunch.
What was excellent? I'm sorry,
glad-
Danny, we didn't catch it.
The tennis. I thought the Miami Open.
Oh,
was
there we go.
excellent. Yes. I thought the Miami Open was excellent. I'm happy our boy Roger Federer won. I got to go to the semifinal match against Kyrgios, which was unbelievable. And so, rock on Miami Open. And I know you guys were talking about the Frisbee. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if Gannon has told you about Team Waffle House.
Is that the one that's being crybabies?
No, Waffle House, solid team.
Oh, never mind. He said it's a solid team.
Danny, which is the team that's whining and crying about subs?
That's whining and crying. I'm not aware of too much whining and crying, but if I had to suspect, I don't know, maybe the team that, like, Juan, Kiki, and Anthony are on. I'm not sure.
Is that it? That's it? No,
Better
Gannon
be
says
now.
no.
Better be now.
Oh, man, that's good, Danny. You have to watch your back around the key now.
I don't know, man. We don't whine and cry. We just get out there, we play, and we win. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And, one last thing. Oh, no, two last things. So, you guys were talking about what you're listening to, and I couldn't help but think about that excellent voyage to another planet that a couple of us took, 7-10 days ago when Radiohead came to town.
Yeah, Danny.
and took us to another planet. That was just one of the best shows I've seen in a long time.
It was pretty amazing.
I'm sure you guys have talked about that. Anna, Rafa, we had a blast.
We did.
And I mean, is it our boy Manny's birthday or what?
Yeah.
Hey, Danny, we appreciate the comment. We're going to see you at Vito's in a little bit, right?
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. I'll be out there. And Manny, happy birthday.
Thank you, brother. Order up. Order up. Go crazy.
You know, so many people here in the Key feel the same way, dude. So
Yeah.
happy birthday, brother.
That's right. Happy birthday, Manny.
Thank you for calling, man.
I'm glad you called, Danny.
Or we called you.
Good friend. Yeah, we called you. But Danny is number one fan and friend of the show. I have to say.
Anna, before he hangs up, do you have a trivia question for him?
Oh, we do have the trivia question. Shall I say it?
Yeah, well, we have a caller.
Well, right? I mean, we haven't even said it yet, but we all know how old Manny's turning today. Trivia question. How old is Chico?
How Chico? Man, that's a great question.
Manny is big 5-0. How old is Chico?
My problem is that I can't do basic mathematics. Like 7, so I need to guess human years.
How many?
Okay.
How many years? We can tell. Yeah, human years.
Yeah, so like I don't know, like 7.
7, is that correct? Does he get the frisbee?
7 human years?
7 human years.
That means
Oh,
he's
wait,
human.
human years.
No,
but 7 years. 7 years.
7
Human
years.
No, not yet. Not
Or
yet.
7
Okay.
dog.
Chico's
not
next
yet?
birthday will not be 7.
Oh man, you did not get the frisbee.
But you did win. But you did
All right,
win
guys,
some.
everybody take it easy. I'm
But
out.
you win some love, man.
Hell yeah, I appreciate
So
it. That's all I need, baby.
how old
Bye,
is
Danny.
Chico?
Thanks so much for
Say
calling.
that.
Okay. Bye. A kiss. Bye.
Vicente.
All right. How old do you? I mean. Okay. What do you guys want to do? We can do the new listings, or we can do kind of pass on that and
What?
and do the listings.
Yes.
You want to do listings talk?
What is the other option?
Oh, they talk about the cleanup.
Oh, the cleanup's important.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the beach cleanup real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
let's
go.
do that.
Key
It's
Biscayne
important.
beach cleanup. Vincente got a hair in his ass the other day, basically, and started something else. So, tell us what you started, and tell us the genesis of it, and let's talk about the vision. What's going to be?
Yeah, so, I mean, basically this all started from, random days that I'd go out to the flats and I'd go swimming and I'd just see bottles and trash everywhere. Really though, everywhere. And I would just pick it up. And I guess I always wanted to get a group together, and I never did until now that I went out recently and I said, this is it. And it just took 2 people. A matter of 2 hours, we took 4 full bags out of a small corner of the Mashta flats, and that just goes to show what 2 people can do in 2 hours. The idea with this is that everybody who gets involved can get involved on a day-to-day basis. You don't have to do the cleanups when we go on the boats. Of course, you can join us whenever we do it. It'll be a once-a-month thing, hopefully. But, if you're walking on the streets or if you're walking on the beach and you see trash, just pick it up. It's part of the community idea, and that's what we want to spread. We want to spread the idea of just how easy it is to really help by just picking up trash.
So Vincente started this Facebook page called Key Biscayne Cleanup, and go on there, like it. We already have some follow it, like it, keep track on it. It's going to be a collaborative site. It's going to be one where you can contribute and be part of. It's called Key Biscayne Cleanup, not Key Biscayne Beach Cleanup, or Key Biscayne Flats Cleanup, or Key Biscayne Street Cleanup. It's called Key Biscayne Cleanup. So it's a great move. We've got a lot of fun ideas. Stay tuned. We're gonna have competitions. What's the coolest thing you found? What's something you repurposed? What's something that you're keeping? What's something that you needed gloves to wear? What's the nastiest
there's
thing?
some funky stuff out
Yeah, the
there. I mean,
funkiest.
sadly, but there's some funky
But we're gonna
stuff.
get it off. We're gonna get it off the streets and off the seas and off the mangroves, and we're gonna do paddles to clean up. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So great work on that. Key Biscayne Cleanup. Go on to Facebook and check it out.
I just want to say that's awesome, Vite.
Thanks,
Pat
guys.
on the back, because that's amazing.
Finally, I guess it just takes to do it. I went on Facebook and I was like, how is there no group? There's so many other Key Biscayne groups, but how is there no a cleanup group?
Yeah.
So easy.
There is now.
Yeah.
Good job.
Awesome. Okay. Do you want to do the real estate thing, or do you want to save it for next time? Yeah, we've already
Let's do
been.
next
We're
time.
wrapping.
We're
We have
doing
some
it.
ideas.
Yeah, we have
ideas for next time.
we have a good.
Hey,
We
Rafa, you haven't played the uke at all, man. What's with this?
Oh.
You haven't played any uke.
Come on, man.
I was supposed to play it for the segments. I didn't even say. I don't even think I said Talk of the Town.
You did? I don't think you did
Yeah.
talk at the time. We talked weekend and stuff.
We're getting
Why
back
don't you
into
play
the
us
groove
out
of
on the
things.
uke? Why don't you play us out on the uke?
Oh wait,
Well,
hold on. Hold on.
you know, there's something that's going on. It's like I can't play Happy Birthday on the uke,
Oh,
but I'll play you guys a little something while I talk you guys out. And there's a couple things I do want to say, so I'll play this while I say it. I'm off.
It's okay.
So, what I wanted to say was, apart from Manny's amazing 50th birthday today, it's also this week our buddy Diego Ojeda's birthday.
Take the dildo.
It's also Lala Pereira's birthday.
Lala, we love you, Lala, Lala.
Friend of the show.
It's also Del Corral's birthday.
Andres.
Aries.
It's also Lawrence Kelly
Oh, Lola.
birthday.
Today, right? Or tomorrow?
It's tomorrow, I think. Yeah.
So a big happy birthday to them.
And to Manny, happy 50th, yeah.
And Manny.
All right, now we're finishing up the show, and there's one thing that we really have to do before we go. Oh, I love it. I love it. There is a pineapple slice on a fork with a candle in it,
Dripping.
dripping pineapple juice.
That's
and
nasty.
Like that.
ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Manny. Happy birthday to you. And many more.
And that's Chico, y'all.
Good night, everybody. Have a great week. We'll be back next week, I hope, on Wednesday. And stay tuned. Go to the website and all that stuff. See ya. 50 years old, Manny. Yes.
Yeah.